All right, good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. I am the commander reporting for yet another tour of duty, joined here by the sensei, Game Slayer. Welcome again.
I like this way of introducing me. Thank you very much.
Well, given how much offense you took at being introduced as my sidekick last time, I figured we needed to come up with a new title.
I agree. It's good. I don't know what this... I'm going to stop doing this accent. I don't know what that accent was.
I was going to say, are you trying to go for like a Japanese accent and mixing it with like a German?
I don't know. So my accent started as something but very quickly changed to something else.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, that introduction aside, let's talk about what we've got going on here. So as we can see, we are continuing our coverage of the live in-person qualifiers coming to us from Florence, Italy. We are currently in the semifinals match. This match is going to feature Ohm 1996 AR66 versus Fuchs.
Which is which?
I don't know. I'm going to actually, since Smiaz looks to be like our relay person, I'm going to ask him, but I would assume that Ohm is going to be on the left and Fuchs on the right.
Okay.
That's what we'll go with for right now.
All right. And we can see that the person on the right is bringing what Kirito likes to call the Suicide Squad, what a lot of people in the community call the Suicide Squad, which is Shalavi Frail with Korjov here. So the idea is that you've got the revenge triggers from Shalavi, but then Korjov and Frail are both mages, effectively, so they both do piercing damage with their revenge proc, so you'll always win in the damage trades against another melee character. Meanwhile, the person on the left is bringing Nupton with the Ekrit, Akudi, and Kanui, which is 3 yellow-blue characters, with Habra in for support in the back, as we've got the victory conditions of Tactician and Onslaught.
Okay.
So a very defensive setup for the left player here, going with Kanui, with Ekrit and Akudi, just going full killing minions, I assume. Yes. And then with Kanui to block and protect. So who knows if the Suicide Squad is going to be able to deal with this slippery team.
Indeed. One of the benefits of the Suicide Squad, of course, as you touched on, is the idea of using Freyhill as that mage, dealing piercing damage with all the revenge procs. But Kenway brings the fact that as soon as someone is damaged by, that is projected, a projected hero is damaged, then they're able to move away, which negates a lot of the Suicide Squadron's power.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And we can see here that we should be excited again, because once again, it is the Silent Ambassador for the left.
Is it the Scourge of Puido on the other one?
Scourge of Puido.
Oh, baby!
For the other guy, which is what?
I am all aboard this train here.
So Scourge of Puido is not someone you usually see in Ashram Pass, because they have to replace the hero that is in the dome.
Correct.
And then they've got to spend some time moving up to someone.
Yep.
So I don't know. The question is this Nupton list actually a flip deck that's masquerading as something else? Because Akudi and Ekrit are very good at flipping. Ekrit's attack is AoE. They could be actually psyching us out here and actually are a heavy aggro deck.
That could be the case, yeah. So, again, we'll touch on their abilities real fast. Scourge of Puido does come with 3 damage and a double flip on him. His abilities include Reckless Fury, dealing 3+ a flip to a target adjacent enemy, and then the Possessed Hero, as Game Slayer mentioned, the Scourge of Puido actively replaces a friendly hero in the dome that the Scourge belongs to, and then at the end of the turn, the Possessed Hero is placed adjacent to wherever the Scourge finishes. So the Possessed Hero then will lose 1+ a flip HP. Spirit Siphon, target adjacent enemy hero loses half of their HP, and the Possessed Hero loses the very same amount. And then finally, Relentless Pursuit. Move the Scourge of Puido 3 hexes and apply fast to the Possessed Hero.
And speaking of fast, Kanui has already gone with the swiftness, gone fast, and has decided to kill a minion and place her illusion behind it, which is very interesting because you have Ekrit and Akudi to kill minions, supposedly, right?
In theory.
So this Ekrit is being kept in reserve for something else, I think, or something's going on, because that swiftness could have been used to get Ekrit into Dome 3 and shooting a minion line right there.
That was my thought exactly, yeah. So interesting that they did not go for that option.
Mm-hmm. Is Kanui is not even in a cover hex.
Correct.
I mean, she can get skirmished, I guess. Maybe he's hoping that Kanui gets skirmished so that Kanui can then move into the dome.
Correct. Now, Kanui's passive will allow her to be untargetable by attacks. Nothing says about skirmishes. So we do note that Korhoff is going to skirmish and then target her with the attack there from the skirmish, dealing 2 points of damage, it looks like, bringing her down to 15 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
And then Korhoff actually going to move in and take control of that cover hex in Dome 2.
Interestingly, Kanui did not decide to move in to the dome after all. I thought Kanui was going to, but she didn't, and that makes sense because Korjov goes in there and leads.
Yes.
So that is one weakness, potentially, of this setup. I mean, maybe the blue heroes decide that they're just going to stick to Dome 2 here, because blue heroes, they like to be within 3 hexes of each other, and Korjov is deep into that dome, and he kind of has to be because Ekrit can push him out of the dome.
Correct.
So he is deep inside that dome to make sure he doesn't get pushed out, which means he's kind of stuck away from the rest of the blue lineup.
And one of the other interesting things that we kind of talked about, in addition to the movement here, is if we recall our previous game, we did see another Korhoff, and that one, he didn't stay in the cover hex, and he kind of blew up pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Now then, Swiftness number 2 comes out for Ekrit. So that's why he had Swiftness, because he had 2 of them.
That makes sense.
Now he's going to go for a line attack and destroy those 2 minions. That leaves Akudi not with anything to do.
Correct.
Ekrit is going to place the illusion outside of the dome, which is interesting.
So my guess there is to provide the benefits for Kenwi and eventually Akudi.
Right, except that she's not in range of Kanui with that.
Oh, you're right. Yep, I'm sorry. That is 4. Yeah. So Kenwi does not actually have access to Akudi's pushing power.
But there might be a situation where Kanui decides that she needs to move in towards the Ekrit illusion, and then she'll have that ability.
Yes.
As we see Frail, she's just going to enter the dome and punch Kanui, it looks like, with a skirmish or the attack. Hits a strength over pain, though, so that's just unfortunate. And she's going to lead with a 3. So she's going to take that dome. Now, this is really awkward for...
left person. We're going to call him Ohm. Until I haven't heard otherwise, but we're going to assume that's Ohm.
Okay, so this is really awkward for Ohm because he... What did he do? Has he done a third action? Because I would have expected Shalavi to have got shapeshifted at some point so he could kill 2 minions because there is no minions dead. Correct. And that is really bad.
Yes. Especially if there's a trample that comes out. The Flux card is available for Ohm, and Akudi is a blue-yellow hero, which means Trample could potentially put that control zone in range of control of the towers, and thus deal significant damage at the end of turn 1.
So I was talking about blue player, and you said let's call him Ohm, so I'm thinking blue player is Ohm. Who is blue player in this situation then?
I was saying the left player, yeah, Ohm.
Left player is Ohm, yeah, but left is not blue.
No. Akudi, I was saying Akudi... No, wait. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. How about we call them blue and gray?
Why not blue and yellow?
Because that would be reversed, because the yellow guy is actually playing with a blue shirt on.
You're looking at the shirt! Anyway, that's as a presence play, so there we go. Akudi gets the presence off. Very strong use of the Skytear Flux, so he's going to win. He's going to win that Dome 2.
Yes.
Not going to win Dome 3, but that means that his opponent has given up so much for this Dome play that is not going to go out as effectively as he wanted. He would have won both Domes. That is not happening anymore.
Correct.
He was willing to lose. He's going to draw, in fact, with this Shalavi, and that means that lane 1 is just going to get pushed forwards. Because you got to realize they're playing for Tactician.
Yes.
So he was willing to lose the lane 1 if he gets 2 points on Tactician at the start. Is Tactician to 6 or is it to only 4 now?
I believe it's to 4 on Ashen Pass. Don't quote me on that. I'm not actually...
But that could have been very effective if it was to less than 6.
Yes.
But as is the case, he's only going to draw in that one now. So it's going to be a 1 apiece on the Tactician, and that token is going to go real far, and there's going to be 5 creeps. So this could be basically game over already.
Yes. There will be a significant amount of lane pressure now. There will be 2 minions that respawn. Depending on... Now, the minion positioning here needs to be such that Akudi's illusion token has a difficult time resolving. Although I think based on where Akudi is positioned right now for Blue Sweater, also known as Ohm, also known as the yellow player, this is going to drive me nuts. I think it is possible that we can swing Akudi's illusion into position such that Akudi herself targets 1 of the minions, and then the illusion can finish off the second.
awkward situation here as well is that the Silent Ambassador that blue player just won is not going to. It can't do anything really. It can't affect the most of the board because they're all on the other dome.
Correct.
And you have to spawn adjacent to your own dome.
Yes.
On the perimeter of your own dome. But he might need to use it to just kill some minions here because that is a lot of minions.
The best that could be
said
said is
not shapeshifted. Shalavi shapeshifted the core job, so Shalavi is not shapeshifted to kill some minions here.
Yes, and yeah, interestingly enough, the Silent Ambassador cannot even use his wormhole ability due to the fact that you do need to target one hero, and based on that position, you can't see Freyhill or Ekrit, and also be within 3 of Kenwi, which means that although you are able to swap within 4. Okay, so now we see the Silent Ambassador is moving. Looks like a skirmish attack against the Kenwi there. Looks like
Shield Slam.
Oh, okay.
And now is he going to swap? But who does he swap him for what reason?
So Kenwi has to be the target. You can swap with basically any hero on the board except Akuti.
Is it any hero within 4 or is it any hero within 5? Sorry.
It is any hero within 4.
So you can't swap with Freyhill?
Freyhill's within 4. If you target...
does it have to be within 4 of Silent Ambassador?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so the target, you target one, and then the second one that you swap with has to be within 4 of the Silent Ambassador. So you could potentially do a 7-hex swap, right? 3 for the target and then 4 for that. So we could see some cross-map exchange, but that doesn't seem to be the case here yet.
I guess Kanui could get swapped with Korjov and being put to slow or something, but that doesn't feel good.
No.
None of this Silent Ambassador stuff feels good.
Yeah. Silent Ambassador, a very powerful card here, but just the way that the board has shaken out neuters a lot of the potential ability that the
This is the power of a turn 1 presence right here.
Yeah.
And when you're bringing in heroes into Ashen Pass, you need to have a strategy for dealing with a lot of minions. And it wouldn't put me. I would fully expect that. I would fully expect that the blue player here has a strategy for dealing with these minions, but this has come very quickly.
All right. So also, I have confirmation from our good man Smiaz that Fuchs is in fact the player on the left, also known as Blue Sweater, also known as the Yellow player, and Ohm is the player on the right, also known as Gray Sweater.
So Fuchs, who is on the left,
yes,
is in a very strong position right now.
Correct.
And it looks like the Ambassador's over, and we're in second round here with Akuti activating first.
Yes. So this makes some sense here. You use Akuti. I expect we'll see, a lead from the deck, and...
I think that's it.
Yep.
I think he's skirmish move led.
Makes sense.
He still has that +1 armor from his illusion.
Correct, yes.
He's in a good spot there.
The only way that doesn't really matter is if Korhoff comes into play. Korhoff is shapeshifted at the moment, so he does get fast upon activation. He does deal +1 attack damage and +1 skirmish damage at the cost of becoming melee. Ooh, and Shalavi flips over... Is that a Rampant Hatred it looks like on the flip?
That's a Rampant Hatred.
Yep, okay, so +1 on the flip.
So what I like about this position specifically is that this is making it quite awkward for Kanui to be able to actually kill a minion.
Yes.
If she wants to kill a minion now, she has to do a skirmish and then a move through her own minions.
Yep,
in order to be able to kill a minion, it's going to be very difficult to get... But you kind of have to kill both minions if you want to be able to do some tower damage.
Right.
Which would mean you would have to give up the dome. Give up one of these domes.
Indeed.
But is Scourge really worth it to stay in the dome? I don't even know.
I mean, and again, consider this, of course. The control zones do resolve in order, which means that if you blow up the tower, it does not matter what happens in Zone 2 or Zone 3, because Control Zone 1 completely resolves, and so if the tower goes kaboom, we don't even care what happens in 2 and 3, so... Fuchs may just make a play to just collapse the tower immediately here in one fell swoop.
See, if Fuchs leads with a 3... Okay, he's going to shove him away from the attack action. Okay. If Fuchs leads with a 3 and brings all of his heroes to bear and kills all of the minions, which he can't anymore, he's pushed him into such a place that Kanui can't get to that minion.
Correct.
But if he did, then it would be a case of 4. Then it'd be a case of winning by 4 points, which would only do 4 damage to the tower.
Right.
But it would mean that he would force his opponent to not be in a dome either.
Yes.
to survive.
Now,
This
interestingly
air
enough,
pressure can make the tactician much harder for his opponent to deal with.
now that being said, he could have 2 presences. If you double presence with both Kenwi and Ekrit, that would give you a bonus to control, and end up being all you need. So that would, of course, require him to have drawn all 3 of his presence cards. But
yep, which is not very likely.
Indeed,
he did lead from the deck. But he might. But I think he knew what that card was. No, he didn't, because he drew since then.
Correct.
So he didn't
He
even know.
drawn
Doesn't
from
know what
last
that
week's
Akudi card is. Accurate's coming out.
Okay. Is she worshipping?
I don't see a reason to worship here.
Neither do I.
She is not worshipping.
No,
he
she's
moved to a
not.
different spot.
Okay. I saw the hand going there, and I thought we might.
He's
Okay,
doing
so...
a skirmish. Was that a skirmish? I think that was a skirmish.
No, that was an attack because he killed off a minion.
Okay.
So we do see the presence flip there. So no double presence play there, we can guarantee. But again, that being said, as you mentioned, it looks like we're just going for an all-in collapse here, which is going to force Ohm to come out of the domes anyway.
He's going to skirmish, it looks like.
Yep.
And he has that +1 damage because he is shapeshifted.
Correct.
So 3 against Akudi, so that is actually 3 full damage because he is a mage.
Now, that being said, Kenwi's ability now triggers. Since Akudi is projected, Akudi will be able to move 1 hex away, as we see there, which means that Ohm will have to commit the move action. Korhoff is in melee while he's shapeshifted. We do see the move right there, so we are going to chase her down.
This is really awkward for him. That Kanui just really, really ruining all of his plans.
Yep.
He's having to do a lot to just get a small amount of damage out.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't small, but he don't do a lot to get some damage out.
Indeed. So Akudi is at 13 hit points here, so Korhoff will do 4 plus the flip.
Not with a redirect.
Not with the redirect, he won't. Well, he'll still do it.
He's
But
going to
he'll
force
do
it onto Kanui instead.
Oh, and that'll force the attack to fizzle because Kenwi is next to her illusion.
Unless he decides not to play it after all.
Oh. I mean, that seems like a good move. That forces the entire attack to fizzle.
He's going to charm instead.
Okay.
And
then do a redirect.
What?
So is he using the charm to... Okay, so he uses the charm to disable the shapeshift.
And then redirects it to a creep. Because now he's a ranged hero.
Okay.
Okay.
Not the worst play, but I still think redirecting it into Kenwi so that the attack fizzles... Or...
Yeah, it's not the worst play, but if I was playing as the blue player right now, I would have wanted to kill creeps anyway, so...
Well, as I just realized...
You've used up 2 cards from your opponent's hand to kill a creep, so that's like... I would take that. I would accept that.
Yeah, also as I realized...
is very valuable to stop Frail's plays.
Yeah. Kenwi actually can't be targeted by default. So she couldn't have been selected as well.
She can't be targeted, but does that mean that the attack fizzles?
You can't. Yeah, no, it means you can't redirect the attack to her because you have to target.
She's not a valid target to redirect.
Right, she's not a valid target to begin with. Yeah, I'm getting crossover here with the fact that the Whisper of Nupton would screw this play up by spawning a token that was not previously there, versus the current set here. So yeah, so Kenwi actually could not have been selected as an attack there to fizzle that way, unfortunately.
Kanui skirmishes against the Korjov and moves into the dome.
Makes sense.
He's deciding that, you know what, I am going to leave the lead from deck with Akudi, and I'm going to try and get some tactician points instead, because I don't think I can make this kill on tower play quite happen just yet.
Indeed.
And what surprises me, though, is that the only hero left to activate on Ohm's side is the Frail.
Correct.
So he could have done some other stuff first.
Yes.
He could have done some stuff first, and then skirmished in, and he's even leading from the deck with that. When it's like, do you really need to lead from the deck?
I mean, yeah, Freyhill can't make it over into the dome, given the trail of heroes and outsider all in the way. There's no way for Freyhill to get into the dome.
What I thought was happening, right, was that he was doing a 100 million IQ play by having the Korjov kill the creep, and then he could have Kanui move to where that creep was so she could kill that final minion. And then skirmish back into the dome. But that is not what has happened, and that is unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. That would have been a 5 million IQ play. All right.
All right,
Meanwhile,
so
through the eyes, it looks like is coming out.
that's a skirmish, 2 damage into whoever it was. Akudi, I think that was, and now Akudi can move backwards.
Well, she requires
But
HP
she would
loss.
not be within range of the thing anymore.
Well, Akudi would not take any damage from the skirmish, right? Because she has 2 armor.
Akudi definitely does not have 2 armor.
Oh no, she only has she only has +1. I'm sorry. I thought for some reason.
And also Frail shapeshifted.
Yeah. Oh, so that would be the piercing damage.
So Akudi could move backwards here, but if the Akudi moves, then you lose the lead in the center, which would be devastating.
Correct. Yeah.
So you can't leave, and this opens you up to a lot of stuff by using that charm redirect play. Frail could just nuke you now.
Yes.
But instead, he does nothing, and Frail moves back in. It was a bluff.
Okay. So that looks like we're going to see some outsider action.
Again,
this round.
another lead from deck. I'm not sure why. Was she really that worried about a time warp from Ekrit, I guess? But
possibly. All right, so Freyhill is going to lead with the 2. Not that it matters. Freyhill wins Dome 3 uncontested. Kenwee wins Dome 2 uncontested. We do need to do some calculation here to see who wins lane 1.
Oh, and it was a 3 mana from Akudi. So therefore, lane 1 is a victory. Everything's evened out except for the fact that there's 2 minions, so 1 minion and a tower falls, which is a card draw.
Yes.
For a tip for everyone who is trying to do maths with this sort of stuff, I have a lot of trouble with control token maths, but if you just try to cancel things out and then see what's left, that can really help. It's when people start leading with different numbers that things get really bad then, though.
Yes. All right, so meanwhile, we do see that Kenwee has been replaced by the Scourge of Puido. She will join the battlefield on an adjacent hex in a few motions here.
Which is right next to Korjov.
Correct.
So it doesn't need to use a move action or anything like that. The Scourge of Puido can just kill Korjov here.
Okay, so there we go. We're going to start putting on the damage. Korhoff is already down to 5. It looks like the sacrifice ability...
Nope. Yeah, you do... Well, yeah, so the sacrifice ability does half his health.
Yep, so Kenwee's HP is also going down.
And half health to Kenwee as well, and then an attack just kills, right?
Yes, yeah, there's no need to use the 3 plus a flip on him and risk damaging Kenwee further when an attack would just kill him.
Well, maybe not, because he might not have any +2s in the deck.
True.
If we're actually looking at the stuff that he's flipping a lot of -1s.
That is true. Well, let's see. We do flip over. Oh, and a +2.
He flips a 2!
Dead Korhoff. And Brilvar immediately enters the battlefield as a result.
All right, now Brilvar. Brilvar is a bit tankier than Korjov, just a little. And he's actually really good. Like, I'm surprised that they didn't bring Brilvar immediately, because Brilvar can shut down Akudis and Ekrits pretty well. And that could be a really bad thing, actually. Brilvar being here could actually be a really bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're winning on Tactician right now. You just need 1 more point to win Tactician. But Brilvar can really lock you down. I think, though, that because Brilvar had to spawn in that zone specifically, you can't really contest Zone 2 and stop for victory here.
Mm.
Well, Brilvar can still move through the creeps, I guess.
I always forget about that. So the question is, can Fuchs set up a kind of a defensive line barricade?
Mm-hmm. Because, again, Fuchs has won the Silent Ambassador, and you can do a lot with Silent Ambassador.
Yes. So now, Silent Ambassador's turn to activate. Let's see what Silent Ambassador does on the field.
Silent Ambassador has swapped a minion with Brilvar? Is that a thing you can do?
I don't think so. Let me take a look.
Or was it just that they placed... Or is it just that he hadn't finished placing his minions, so he's like, hey, this square could have gone for where there, and then Brilvar can spawn anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what actually happened. He placed a minion, and he didn't place it on that specific hex when he should have.
Otherwise...
So Brilvar's much more into the melee here, which is a lot better for him then.
Yes.
All
right, so let's see. What do we have?
So he attacked a minion.
Yep. I saw him pointing towards Ekrit, so...
Probably the stone with a Psyche Shield.
Okay. That's 4 damage, minus armor. Puts her down to 13.
And they're not in range of the Akudi, so 12. So down to 12.
Oh, you're right, yep. Yep, only 1 armor. Mm-hmm. And looks like that's about it.
Yeah,
We're cleaning up.
that's it.
All right, we're on to round number 3.
Round number 3. All right. Well then, so what is the position here? What do you do exactly
Well,
in this situation?
Right.
Because if tactician is to 4 points, then you're looking down the barrel of a gun right now.
Correct.
But it's round 3. You have your 3 cost spells now. Brilvar's Avalanche can definitely do some nice things.
Yes.
Shalavi's ult could wipe out a bunch of minions if they wanted to. There's not been a lot of shapeshifting that's been going on right now, though.
Yeah, despite the fact that this is a mono blue team, we haven't really seen a whole lot of advantage being taken from the shapeshift abilities that makes the blue blob so powerful.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't even get to do his sacrifice plays with Korjov because Korjov died to Scourge of Puido and was not shapeshifted for the sacrifices to work.
Correct.
That said, Kanui's on 9 health and Akuti's on 10.
All right,
so that's not a lot of health.
So I'm going to take a cheat jump here. According to a battle report that is dated 5 days ago, which means that it is recently relevant, it said Giacomo had 5 points on Tactician on the Ashen Pass and tried to win with a dome surprise barricade, which means that Tactician is going to have to go to 6.
Okay, Tactician goes to 6, you're in a much safer position now
Yes.
as blue. To the point where, arguably, you shouldn't have killed Korjov.
Yeah.
Because Brilvar is going to really slow this down. But you can potentially still grind this out. Well, you're still in the better position. No beating around the bush there. You're still in the better position, even though Brilvar doesn't even have any health according to this health tracker right now.
Oh, Chasm.
Chasm.
Coming through.
Why is he pushing? He's not the first player, so this is in response to his opponent doing something.
Correct.
Oh, okay. So Akuti moved the illusion and then attacked a minion, and then he was like, maybe I push Akuti out of the way so that the minions don't die. But then he decided to think better of it.
Okay.
Which is surprising to me, because that seems actually really, really good.
Yeah, that you just lost 2 minions that were defending your tower.
And he presences, despite the fact that he now knows his opponent has a Chasm.
Yeah, so I have to assume that he has a Chasm himself in order to serve as a counter?
Potentially, but it would have to be a different hero doing that.
Right.
Oh, wait, no. Wait, no. The whole reason why you don't do this is Ekrit's illusion is stopping it.
Ah, good point.
That said, you can kill Ekrit's illusion.
You can.
But that is an attack you're not then using on Akuti or Kanui.
Yep, that's right. Ekrit's illusion does prevent projected heroes from being moved by effects that the opponent creates.
So, opponent cannot push that Akuti out of the way.
Yep. That makes sense.
So, there's 4 minions to none. You have to clear these minions at some point.
Yes. And with a blue deck, Dragon Punch is out of the question.
Right. Like, you do have stuff like Call of the Pack and Bewitch, but I fully expect he does not run those.
Yes, based on what
considering the nature of his deck and how aggressive he wanted to be at the start of this game.
Mm-hmm.
But Shalavi can still kill minions.
Yeah. She can shapeshift and take out 2 of them.
It feels bad because you're not hitting someone for a lot, but like Kanui is going to stop you from doing a lot of this play.
Yes.
Kanui is very much an MVP in this specific situation.
All right. Oh, so Brilvar is going to move up and try to burn the attack actions by taunting.
Mm-hmm.
Can we?
And he shield slammed on a minion.
Okay, there we go. So that does reduce the pressure a little bit.
Does leave it a little bit. Now, Akuti's already gone, so this is just Kanui. He is doing this just against Kanui.
Correct.
Who potentially didn't really care about using attack actions, but
yeah, she doesn't
gonna keep Shalavi alive.
Yeah, she doesn't have any minions to go after, and Shalavi does have 18 hit points. Freyho has 16, so I agree. Kenwi maybe wanted to use the action for something else, but it's not like she was going to go and blow a giant attack on somebody.
So it is... Okay, so one thing that is worth noting, though, is that she has 3 attack, and Brilvar has 3 armor. Mm-hmm. So this has a decent chance of hitting Brilvar, which then can trigger a revenge proc against Akuti.
Correct.
which might be what you need. If you can get Frail and Shalavi in there, that one plus revenge proc from Brilvar might be enough to kill Akudi. Yeah. And killing Akudi here would be very good since he's presenced.
Yes. Who is
that said? If you're killing Akudi, you are not killing minions.
Correct. Yeah. Who is Ohm's reserve heroes? It's Habarat. That's right. Yeah,
Habarat. Yeah. Who's going to come in and bring some serious pain.
Yes.
But that would be okay for his opponent.
Yeah.
Because what he's worried about right now is dying to tower.
Correct. Yeah. Fuchsia's main victory condition right now, I think, is Nexus Destruction or Tactician.
So that was unfortunate for him because Ekrit activated, did an attack, got a -1. So no shapeshift revenge shenanigans from Brilvar. There we go. Words.
All right, so
worth noting that Kanui is not within range of the Ekrit, so she can be pushed back into the dome, but then he wins dome, so he's not too bad side about that.
Correct, and that would further his goal of the 6 points of Tactician.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so with that being said, looks like the next hero to go off is Shillavi.
Could be Frail. Frail could shapeshift Shillavi instead.
Yep, looks like Frail. He is grabbing Freyhill's miniature here, so let's see what Freyhill decides to do.
She could always shapeshift herself, move into Akudi, and then do some sacrifice plays if she has them. That would be really good.
Yeah.
Assuming there's no charm. The problem with Frail is that charm is a thing, and sometimes you just have to go for the play and hope they don't have charm.
Exhaustion also a possibility.
Mm-hmm. Frail moves. She's going to lead. She's going to presence herself.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, she's going to presence before leading. That makes sense in case there's a 3 on top. And it looks like there might have been. Okay. Or maybe not. It's hard to tell because we are also seeing this slideshow.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen. This is not your... Do not adjust your TV displays. This is not your fault. This
Nor
is the fault of the internet.
Again, as a friendly reminder for those of you who are just joining us, we've been at this all morning. What essentially is going on is you are seeing the live video feed from Ricardo's camera over in Florence. Ricardo is relaying that to the 3 of us in Discord, and then I am sending it from Discord to the YouTube channel stream where you are all able to view this. So we're bouncing it through several different relay points, and the quality will deteriorate each time we bounce it through something else.
I will say, I just saw Frail. In Frail's team's hand was a strength over pain.
Oh, so we could potentially see the frenzy attack.
Could potentially see a frenzy attack to clear out some minions, which would be still effective, even though you're not going to get that really nice revenge trigger.
Correct.
But he did shapeshift Shillavi instead, so maybe that's not going to happen. Then again, with that strength over pain, maybe it would have just made more sense to just try and kill Akudi. But I guess with Kanui's illusion, that's not really going to happen so easily.
Right, you'll just kind of dodge out of the way eventually.
Yeah. Kanui is a very effective hero here. Worth noting that Kanui is in a cover hex right now.
Correct.
I believe.
Yes, that is a cover hex. Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, he'd be attacking her because if Kanui dies, you're in a much stronger position here.
Yep. And she is down to
Kanui's illusion is what's really stopped this team from going off.
Correct. That ability to prevent movement. I'm sorry. The ability to move when they take damage is big.
To prevent those revenge triggers from truly going off.
Correct.
Kanui is Kanui might be a strong counter to the Suicide Squad lineup.
I've noticed that, yeah.
I've noticed that right now. Yeah.
I know that Ryan has mentioned that when he and Pythoner were doing the testing, that Kenui was one hero that consistently did give the Suicide Squad deck some challenge on the 2-lane map, and as we can see here, it's doing a fairly good job of giving them trouble on the Ashen Pass as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, Ekrit is gonna move and worship.
Looks to be the case. I think she's bringing that illusion a little bit over there.
So not only can she now push Brovar out of the way, but also, for next turn for Akudi, but also she is now projecting to all of her friendly heroes.
Correct.
So Chasm does not work at all. So in response to this, Brilvar is going to Chasm now.
Correct. Because the Chasm, in this case, will resolve before the illusion token gets to be placed and moved. So if you're going to move someone, you better do it before they become immovable.
Mm-hmm. So he can push push Accurate out of the way here. Redirect coming out. I feel like as Accurate, you would have been perfectly happy with the push, but Redirect coming out here.
So what do we redirect in this case?
Well, we're redirecting the chasm.
I mean, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. Where do we redirect? I'm sorry, is what I want to say. Not what.
I think
obviously.
you redirect it to behind Akuti.
Okay.
Because Akuti would still be projected by the old illusion. And it looks like that's what's happened.
Yep. All right.
So that way you can just make it completely whiff.
We've seen a lot of redirect today to be used to great effect.
Mm-hmm.
I am
whenever I have it in my deck, it's worthless. So.
I'm starting to gain a new respect for using this redirect card here.
Maybe part of it is that it is Ashen Pass and everything is so narrow together that it's much easier to find a time to use it. Alright, Shalavi is the last hero to go.
So, both domes are empty. If she wants to claim a dome at the cost of giving up, one control value in in lane 1, then she gets the choice of either the Scourge or the Silent Ambassador.
I feel like what you do here is you kill the 2 minions and then you move into the Silent Ambassador, because if you want to move into the Scourge, it's going to take you 2 actions.
Correct.
And then with 1 action, and then you can shapeshift, and you can get that Frail shapeshifted, or Shalavi shapeshifted again.
Right.
However, if you do go for Scourge, you could kill... Potentially, you could kill someone.
Like Kenway.
Like Kenway or Akuti, and getting them off the board would be very helpful.
Correct.
But how effective is Scourge? Maybe that's the whole reason why the Nupton lineup is bringing Scourge, is because how effective is Scourge really when there's a Kenway illusion on the field?
That's true, yeah. As soon as the Scourge does one thing, because the Scourge won't be able to kill Kenway without several actions, so she can just start dancing away, and all of the Scourge's special powers require adjacency.
Oh, doing some maths right now, and he is deciding that that with those creeps dead, he will survive on 1 hit point on that tower. So he is like, I'm going to accept this.
Okay. Bold play.
Seems really risky to me.
Yeah, because if you get some kind... Well, I guess you can't surprise quickshot anybody.
But he knows what this last card is, and it's a redirect, so it doesn't do anything.
Right.
Okay, he was just skirmishing for skirmishing's sake.
Okay.
Never mind.
And there's the worship action.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So, wait, did he not attack creeps there?
That appears to be the case, because it looks like there's still 3 creeps alive?
What did he do then as his third action?
I'm not quite sure.
Skirmished, he worshipped. What else did he do?
He didn't lead. We did see a fist bump for some reason.
They have, one person has resigned.
Ah! Okay.
And decided that it's 4 points to death.
Okay.
Ah! Akuti shoved. That's what we're missing.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. There we go.
Akuti shoved, Kanui has Chasm.
Yep.
Chasm. So, Shalavi went to attack... Okay, so Shalavi went to attack creeps, and Kanui pushed him out towards Akuti, and then something happened, I guess. I don't know. Whatever happened, it got nerfed. It got wiped. So nothing could happen there. And they decided that meant that was game over. But by my maths... Wait, no, Brilvar's not in line of sight. Brilvar is not within range of the token.
Yep, Brilvar is 4 away.
Alright, so that is 4 for the game.
Alright. So with that being said then, congratulations to the blue player.
Omar.
No. Fuchsia's on the left.
Oh, okay. Fuchsia? Alright.
Fuchsia, the yellow player, the blue sweater, is our winner.
Who is called Fuchsia, which is also a color, yeah.
It's very true. So that's going to wrap us up our coverage here of this semifinal games. I'm guessing we'll probably see a finals game in a short while. I'm going to converse with Ricardo there. Hopefully we can. This has been a lot of fun. So stay tuned. We will be posting in the Discord if we are going to broadcast one more round. Thank you very much for joining us again, and we'll see you